Okay, we're live. All right, welcome into the Uprise podcast with me, Tori Jones, and my co-host, Eric Brandt. Today, we're going to be previewing the Golden State Warriors versus the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a completely different type of game as I'm used to going into Oakland. Usually, we're with the mindset of maybe we can pull off a huge upset. Right now, it's like if we lost, it would be a huge upset. Portland is favored by 13 tonight, and we'll pick every NBA game. We got some betting lines, and we're going to keep a running total throughout the season. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we plan on doing this for all NBA games and seeing who can be better in terms of picking against the spread. So we'll actually start off with that. But first, Monday mailbag might be coming sometime tonight around midnight or something. Still haven't had the time to record it. I got a couple quick hitting videos that'll probably be out between this podcast and the start of the game tonight, and then of course we'll have the post-game live stream tonight as well. So that's the content plan for the next day or so. I'm still here in my room. I'm moving out Thursday, so trying to enjoy my last couple of streams in this room before I have to get on out of here. But yeah, so next week is going to be kind of chaotic, but I'll still try and keep the content coming steady. So anyway, we're going to start off with our betting picks, and these lines were provided by, what's it called again? Because I'm blanking on the name.
It's the Scoreboard Oregon Lottery app.
Yeah, so these are lines that you guys can bet on if you're over 21 and live in Oregon. I can't bet on them because I live in Washington.
You got to drive like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an app, right?
Yeah, it's like geocoded, so you have to be within the state limits.
So I should drive to Jansen Beach,
yep.
Go park outside the Best Buy and make my picks.
Exactly.
So wait, if I drove back to Washington, would it register that and not give me my payouts?
No, it just, if you want to make an actual bet, you have to be in the state of Oregon to log into the app.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So anyway, we're going to start off with this, talk a little bit about each game, then we're going to talk about the Portland versus Warriors game tonight. This podcast should only be around 45 minutes. Going to try and keep it a little bit short to give myself more time to get those videos out tonight. So anyway, we're starting off with Golden State versus Portland. Portland is favored by 13. Eric, who do you pick?
Man, that's such a high spread. I'm going to take Golden State to cover just because the spread is so high, but I think Portland wins. But yeah, I'm going to take Golden State minus 13.
See, this one's really tough for me because you know how Portland plays with the lead. We've seen it in the multiple games. We saw it against the Warriors last year. Of course, as a completely different team. So it's kind of like, is this Golden State Warriors team bad enough that Portland wouldn't blow a 20-point lead once they got it? Hood is looking good to play. Whiteside's looking good to play. So Portland should be healthier than they were last game. I'm going to take Portland. I think Portland maybe pulls this one out by 15 or 16 points. I'm going to take Portland to win this game. Eric's going to be jotting down our results. So we got 6 games. That's the first game. Going into our second game, we got Washington versus Detroit. The first team I say is also where the game's being played. So this game's in Washington. Washington is favored by 3.5 points. I'm going to give my pick. We'll alternate on this, Eric.
Okay.
I got Washington. Washington's actually been playing pretty solid lately. Detroit is still without Blake Griffin. Rui Hachimura's been a really good starter for the Wizards as a rookie. That's a guy who could potentially be first-team all-rookie. Isaiah Thomas is playing for them, and he's not playing all that bad. They got Bradley Beal, who's going to be the best player on the court. Detroit is without Blake Griffin. So I got Washington covering that spread, winning by 4 points or more.
I'm going to go opposite again and pick Detroit on the road. Yeah, Washington's played pretty well so far, all things considered, how their roster is shaped. But I think Drummond's going to have a field day against their weak front line.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, Thomas Bryant's a solid player. He's definitely still an unheralded, underrated guy.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his. He was a nobody this time last year, and now he's a legit starting center in the league. So game 3, we got Brooklyn versus the New Orleans Pelicans. This is in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's favored by 4. Who's your pick, Eric?
I'm going to pick New Orleans on this, another road team. I'm totally off the Brooklyn bandwagon. I've never been on the Brooklyn bandwagon. I haven't bought into the hype, and I'm not going to start now.
I mean, New Orleans doesn't look too good. I know they beat Denver, but that was one game. Outside of that, I mean, a lot of their games have been close too, though. So I'm actually going to go with you on this one. I think Brooklyn probably wins this game by 2 or 3 points. Brooklyn hasn't looked too good. New Orleans doesn't have a good record, but a lot of their games have been close. So I'm going to agree with you for once. I'm also going to take New Orleans to cover the spread, but probably not win the game. So going into game number 4, we got Minnesota versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee is favored by 7.5 points. This is a very interesting game. The spread is hard to pick right here because I think Milwaukee definitely wins this game, but Minnesota has looked solid. They're without Karl Anthony Towns, so I'm picking Milwaukee to cover that spread, definitely.
Yeah, without Cat, that's an easy one for Milwaukee.
Yeah, I completely forgot. We even talked about that before this podcast, how Cat is out because he got in that fight with Joel Embiid. So I was thinking about Minnesota with Cat. It was a tough decision. Without Cat, it's an easy decision. I got Milwaukee covering the spread.
Yep, I'm with you there.
Alrighty. So fifth game, 5th out of 6th, we got Memphis versus Houston. And Houston is favored by 5.5 points. Houston just got blown out by the Miami Heat. That was a bit of a surprising score. Myers Leonard dropped 21 points in that game. So Houston doesn't look too good. James Harden has been super inefficient. So this is a very interesting game with Houston going on the road to Memphis and being favored by 5.5 points. What's your pick?
I'm going to take Houston, even though they struggled yesterday. I think they're going to come back and have a good game today. I just think their backcourt is too good for Memphis's backcourt at this point.
You know I'd liked Memphis as a sleeper before this season, and Houston hasn't looked good, and it's the second night of a back-to-back.
Yep.
I think Ja Morant is going to be revved up to go up against Russell Westbrook. That's a very athletic point guard battle. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that Houston might struggle in this game too. If I had to pick who's going to win, I'd pick Houston, but I don't think they'll cover that 5.5 point spread. So I got Memphis. If we're picking by the spread, so I got Memphis.
I like it. We have a lot of opposite picks, so we can talk trash when one of us is doing well and the other's not, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of these I might have. Some of these I was on the fence about, and you picking one side helped me pick the other side.
All right.
But I'm feeling bold with this, and we'll see. We'll see how we do throughout the season. This will be fun to see who's more accurate with this. So last game. You made your pick, right, for Memphis, Houston?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I'm completely blanking. All right, Phoenix versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia's without Joel Embiid. This is in Phoenix, so Phoenix is favored by 1 point. Who you got in that game?
I am going to take Philadelphia. I think they're just too good to play down to Phoenix, and I don't buy Phoenix's hot start either. So, yeah, I'm going Philly.
Man.
It's basically a pick 'em.
I don't know.
Do it.
I don't know. See, because, but Philadelphia, just their lack of depth, they weren't impressive to me against the Blazers, but they just won in Portland, which is a much more impressive win than Phoenix. I know Portland was injured, but I don't know, man. It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick Phoenix just because we don't know how real their hot start is. Yeah. We see bad teams like this start hot all the time. So are they going to keep it up? Philadelphia with Joel Embiid would be the easy pick here. I think Philadelphia would be favored by 3 to 5 points if they had Joel Embiid. Without Joel Embiid, they're still undefeated, so I have to agree with you. I think Philadelphia will cover that spread, but I actually think that'll be a pretty close game. So I think we agree on 3 and we disagree on 3. If I'm correct on that.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Alrighty, so
good start.
Post game live stream tonight. We'll go back over our picks. If Eric joins me, if not, I'll still go over the picks. So we'll talk about that as we cover the action tonight, as we do every post game show. Make sure to tune in. We should be going live around. The game starts at 7:30 tonight, so it's going to be a bit of a late post game. It's going to start probably around 10. I usually go live about 15 minutes after each game. But it might be, might be 10:15. I don't know. I just have to get set up and everything. So, anyway, I got Chad Doing he's tweeting me. Chad Doing just tweeted me. So I just saw this on my phone on accident. But he says, hey, Tori, if Blazers lose tonight, I expect a full breakdown of Stotts' failures and a list of potential replacements. 7 games is plenty for this team to be in title form regardless of who is available. That's the type of stuff we get from the media if you ever criticize Stotts, man. That's their whole attitude towards anybody who criticizes Stotts. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably talking about Stotts.
Yeah.
How should I reply? Should I quote tweet it with the clown emoji?
So, for those that...
How should I reply to that, man? Because I'm like, we just met Travis Demers. Travis Demers is really cool. Travis Demers wouldn't be a smartass like this. Right. Travis Demers is a great guy. Chad Dewing, like, I listened to their show. Chad Dewing's from northern Vancouver. His son goes to the high school I went to. Like, you know, me and Chad should be boys. No, I'm just kidding. Chad's, you know, whatever. That's a joke. But anyway, I don't know why he has to have such an attitude with me. He's always had an attitude with me on Twitter. I don't understand it.
For those that don't know, Tori and I met through a Blazers forum, and there's people on there that are the same way. If you just say one, like, why didn't Stott switch the last play of the game? They're all like, how dare you criticize Stotts? He's a great coach. He took us to the Western Conference Finals. Like, never anything about the specific thing we mentioned. Just, he's a good coach. That's it. Like, they never can break down why he's a good coach or anything like that. He does have his positives, and you and I both agree that he's not going to get fired if he loses this game. So it's kind of stupid to say that, but
yeah, I'm saying, sure, I'll provide you the objectivity you need in regards to our coaching staff with a like smiling, laughing face, trying to troll me. Get out of here, man. If you guys follow me on Twitter, go favorite that tweet. Go support me. I'm at war with Chad Dewing, I guess. So,
well, so
all right.
You just tweeted one of my statements from the other day.
Yeah.
So the last 10 games the Blazers have played, Game 1 versus Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, we decide not to guard Steph Curry for some reason. Games 2 through 4, we blow either plus 20-point leads or near 20-point leads in all 3 games. So far this year, I think, other than the Dallas game, we've either had a double-digit lead or come close to having a double-digit lead in every game. And that includes having a 20-plus point lead both against Philadelphia and San Antonio. So that's, 6 out of the last 10 games that we've blown huge leads or had like a super questionable game plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's starting to concern me. That's becoming a pattern. That's why I get kind of frustrated with people who are like, oh, it's just one game in November. It's not really anything to be concerned about. Like teams blow leads all the time. Like, well, when it happens 50% of your games, that's starting to become a trend, not just a one game outlier, you know?
Yeah. I know, man. And that's the thing. Like, people don't have to dislike Stotts. They can like Stotts. They can disagree with what I say. It's just like the media is so cavalier in terms of shutting people down who have anything bad to say. You know what I mean? And it's like it's somebody like me. Like, last year I did game recaps for True Blazer Fan. I charted our sets. I broke down footage. There's multiple games where I've just literally just tried to pay attention to the types of sets we're running. You know what I mean? I've played college basketball. I know the game. Like, I know the game as well as Chad Dewing. Okay? So the dude is like condescending as if like I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I get it if it's somebody trolling saying Stotts sucks so much. Like, if that's all somebody's coming at you with on Twitter, like, that dude kind of sounds like a troll, kind of like a hater. But I always explain it. I always try and go in depth and explain what I see. And I had a decent conversation with them yesterday. And we just kind of like agreed to disagree. He didn't have any sort of attitude towards me. Now he's tweeting at me in the middle of his show because they're live 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. So he's tweeting at me in the middle of his show about just having an attitude. I don't understand, man. I kind of wish I could listen to a show right now to see if he because I don't know, maybe that's something he's talking about on the show. I don't know. But
or maybe he's spending the commercials watching this podcast.
Hey, if Chad Doing is watching this podcast in between commercials, what's up, Chad? Quit hating on me, man. Quit trying to clown me. But yeah, Trevin said first like on the tweet. Oh man, I'm waiting for this reply too.
And we both agree that Stotts does have some good qualities. It's just, I mean, he's been their only coach for the last 7+ years now. There becomes a point where, like, is he getting through to the players anymore? Are they too comfortable? Are they not being held accountable enough? Yeah, just it's frustrating that you can't question any of those things without it being like, oh, you hate Stotts or whatever. Like, Stotts has been a pretty good coach for this team, minus a few playoff series. And he's a great regular season coach. He's a great players coach. It's just, it's getting to the point where, like, we mentioned this on the post-game show. Like, he said in his post-game press conference that Dame just got caught up on the pick and he thought he fought through it and contested it well or whatever. So if you were in like LA or New York or Philadelphia or something, there would have been a follow-up question. Well, why did you have him go through the screen in the first place? Why didn't you have him switch?
Which is basic basketball knowledge that you switch in that situation.
Yeah. And like some of those towns would have actually said that, like, aren't you supposed to like switch in there when you play basketball?
But our media is soft in terms of that questions they ask after a game like that, and they didn't follow it up with the question that they should have followed it up with.
But then you get people like Chad Dewey and be like, see, Dame just got caught up on the pick. What are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? It's not coaching.
Well, the media like that, they'll blame Tolliver.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, what's Tolliver doing? He's not guarding anybody. Some of them were saying, oh, Tolliver didn't switch. What's wrong with Tolliver? And then Tolliver sitting here replying to guys, that wasn't the game plan, but these media guys, they don't see that, or they don't want to talk about, oh, wait, Stotts didn't have those guys switching on the last play, or they don't know that that's common basketball knowledge. I don't know what it is. It's like they refuse to ever say anything bad. And then if anybody says, okay, Stotts made a mistake by not having them switch that final screen, and Stotts made a mistake by taking out Scal to start the fourth quarter because they got 5 straight shots within 5 feet when that happened because we had no rim protector in, you say stuff like that, and they'll cloud you like, oh, I want a full breakdown with coaching, coaching replacements and, everything that's wrong 7 games into the season, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, it drives me crazy, man. But that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's kind of why I'm more vocal, because people are like that, honestly. Because you guys that regularly watch me, you guys know how I feel about certain things in regards to our coaching staff. I've talked about it a lot. So if you guys have watched me, you guys know. But there's so many people out there that try and shut it down and try and clown, anybody who has anything to say, anything bad to say about Stotts, that, okay, I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more vocal.
Yeah.
Because there isn't enough people that are questioning the fact that we didn't switch with 2 seconds left on an inbounds, which is basic basketball knowledge. And honestly, I'd put my basketball knowledge up against any media member that covers the Blazers. I'd put my basketball knowledge up against theirs, honestly. So I'm confident. Like, all right, yeah. I wish I could debate Chad on his show. Right. I wish Chad would come on here. We could debate Chad. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and we could hold our own. Like, so that, I don't know.
Real quick, shout out to Cody Franklin.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was in the chat.
Appreciates that.
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for the donation. He said, thanks for the stream and the deep analysis. I'm forever scarred from the Western Conference Finals blown leads by the Blazers over and over and over again. Yeah, and we've blown a couple 20-point leads to start the season too, which is a bit rough, man. I wish we could play better with a lead. It would be nice to just have a relaxing game and a 20-point win, or even a 10-point win and not blow a 20-point lead. It's almost like when we get a 20-point lead in the first half, I get nervous, like, okay, we've seen this story before. This lead's probably going to evaporate, and then it's going to be a game of runs. So anyway, thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate it, man.
And the thing about Stotts is, like, if he's not holding himself accountable and, like, questioning his decisions like we are questioning some of his decisions, then he's not doing his job right either. Like, these are things that he should be questioning Why did I not have them switch all the picks in that situation? Why did I not double team Horford more often? Why am I allowing our defense to break down on the backside and fall asleep on guys? Why was starting a small lineup against a bigger team the right idea? Like, these are things that he should be learning as a coach, and he's been here long enough to where simple things like that shouldn't be an issue anymore. It should be more complex situations. And so that's, for me, this is a championship level team. The NBA is wide open this year. There is no excuse for coaching blunders this year. You're in your 8th year with the team. It's not like you're a new guy or something. Yes, you have new players and you have injuries, and it sucks. I'm expecting really bad news about Zach and that kind of stuff. But you still have your Dame and CJ. You have the guys who have gotten you here. This team is good enough not to blow 20-point leads in the second half. Like, it shouldn't happen, even without a center. And the one center you did have was playing well, and you chose to sit him and only play him 23 minutes. And it's just he needs to start being held accountable for these things instead of just saying, "Oh, well, he's done a lot with the talent he has." Well, okay, that's fine, but we're in a new season now, and we want to win a championship. Let's start growing and being better. That's all we're asking. And it's not it's just you're basing this off of one game. And like you said, if you know both of us, we know basketball and we've been talking about things, I can name 10 things from the first half of last game that I thought were bad coaching decisions. I already just named a few of them. And it's not just about one play or one thing, but that one play just kind of magnifies everything that's wrong with the situation, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even want to talk about Stotts today.
Right, yeah.
I didn't even plan on talking about him that much, but then I saw that tweet from Chad doing it. It's just
it's Chad's fault.
Here we go again, man. Yep, I blame Chad. Chad should focus on his what do you call it? His radio show. I don't know why he's not focusing on his radio show. So anyway, thank you to Nicholas Arnold, $10 donation. He says solid content. Thanks, man. That's you guys are solid with the donations right now. I greatly appreciate it. I still don't even know how to properly respond, because it's means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me when you guys support this channel and all you guys' support, and when you guys ride with me when I'm at war against Chad doing.
Thanks,
Tommy,
Nicholas. I just do this for fun, but it's good to support Tori. He does a lot of work. These things there's a lot of behind the scene stuff that he has to do. And so, I appreciate you guys supporting him.
Yeah, man. Once I got my own place, about a month and a half from now, and I have a little bit saved up, I'm splurging on a studio. I'm getting some cool background lighting. I'm making the lighting better in here. I'm getting a desktop computer so I can do more with the live stream. This is gonna be sick in the future, man. It's already a lot of fun doing these podcasts, doing these live streams now.
Hey, so real quick, so Bruce Davis is saying Chad Doing is a great guy. He is a good guy.
He is a great guy.
We're just having some fun because he tweeted at Tori.
If you're gonna try and troll me, I'm gonna try and troll you back. And he has a platform, I have a platform too, so don't try and troll me. I'm not sitting here trying to troll him because he could probably clown me on air.
Yeah.
Well, he's sitting here trying to troll me, trying to clown me. I'll clown him on air. I don't, and it's all in good fun, but don't come at me with that that smart ass stuff. I know my stuff. I'm not sitting here trying to hate on Terry Stotts. I pay a lot of attention. I've done full in-depth game breakdowns before. You guys that were with me at True Blazer Fan know that I've done that. So you guys know that I'm paying attention. Anyway, we're gonna.
As far as media members goes, he's one of the guys who does criticize sometimes. Not really with Stotts, but yeah, he is willing to criticize.
He bashes some players.
Yeah.
He absolutely bashes some guys. Even if it's unwarranted, he absolutely bashes some guys. But when it comes to Stotts, there's nothing.
Yep.
Dude could not make a mistake. And it's honestly, if you're in the media and you're not questioning why they didn't switch on that last possession, why Stotts didn't have his guys switching, then I question, you know what I mean? I question you, that's something that every media member should be wondering, like, why weren't we switching that last possession? That cost us a game. If we switched Tolliver out onto Korkmaz, he's not hitting that shot.
And if he
they would
does,
not have gotten a good shot. And if he does, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He hits a fadeaway contested hand in his face three over a guy who's an inch taller than him, falling out of bounds, then fine. But the dude was basically wide open.
Yep.
Like, you got to switch in that situation. So the fact that, like, a lot of the people that I pay attention to in the media weren't questioning that was weird to me. You had, like, in-depth basketball breakdown YouTube channels that break down NBA basketball, having conversations on Twitter, like, after they saw Tolliver's tweet saying, like, wow, that's a bad mistake. I'm paraphrasing here, but, like, they were basically saying, like, Stotts made a huge mistake by not having them switch. You know what I mean? Guys on the outside looking in are completely questioning Stotts. But in here, in, like, our bubble, everybody around us, like, media-wise, nothing at all. So it's just funny that I get clowned for that by Chet doing. So anyway, I'm going to go through the comments a little bit before we talk about this game tonight. Tommy Thompson says, Torrey, Eric, Anthony has some nice per 36 numbers. How do you feel about him so far? I think Anthony's looking really good, and his defense is also improved. That's something important to note out. He got that block against Terrence Ferguson, the OKC game. That was an impressive defensive play. He's just looking more comfortable on the defensive end. Still has to work on his off-ball team defense, but the fact that he's had noticeable improvement on the defensive end is as encouraging for me as anything offensively, because we know he can score the ball. We know that he has offensive talent. So the question mark was like, okay, is this guy going to be able to defend anybody? In the last couple games, he's looked good.
And you're the same way. I give credit where credit's due. I give Stotts credit for actually putting him in the game there at the end to make that shot. Like a lot of coaches wouldn't put a young guy in that situation. So
that was a great. Sorry if I'm cutting you off, but I'm into this. That was a great setup by Stotts, because I want to credit him too, because all I do is criticize him, it seems, to a lot of people. Like, having shooters out there and having Dame drive early with 4 options on the perimeter. I don't know if they set like a screen for Anthony going down to the corner or not. I can't remember.
No,
but like, that was a good.
He just camped in the.
Yeah, you knew that they were going to collapse on Lillard. We're down 1. Like, give him an option in the corner like Anthony, who's shooting over 40% from 3 this season in the corner too. Like, that's the best type of 3-point look. Like, that was a good setup by Stotts, and that was a great play by Dame. It just sucks that it had to be ruined. You know what I mean?
And it should have been his coming out party there.
It should have been his first game winner, man.
But yeah, so I do like that he's getting minutes. Even if he struggles, I think he should be getting consistently close to 20 minutes a game. If CJ continues to struggle, I'd like to see him chip into CJ's minutes a little bit. It won't happen, but I'd like to see it. But yeah, I'm all in on Anthony. He's going to be good. He's already pretty solid, and he's barely played at all.
Yeah. Jacob Kana says, are you planning on bringing back the old game recap format where you would edit together a 10-minute video of game footage with your commentary? I really miss those. I really like the final product on those videos. But the thing is, those videos would take me 6 to 8 hours to make. And I wouldn't make a dime off them because they include NBA footage. I can't make anything off any videos that include any NBA footage. So like the ads you see on the beginning of videos, if a video has NBA footage, the NBA is actually putting the ads on those videos, and the NBA is making the money off those videos. And it's not a lot of money, you know what I mean? And it's like, the thing is, I would do it for free if it didn't take 6 to 8 hours. So it's like, in terms of like putting out other videos, other content, like I wouldn't be able to do as much as I am doing right now. And I'm also struggling to get out what I want to anyways with easier to make content just because my life's kind of hectic. So doing a video that takes 6 to 8 hours is tough to me. In the future, I might make those available to patrons. Patreon, if you donate $1 a month to me on Patreon, those videos may be available if enough people were interested in that. I don't want it to be like Oh, I'm doing it for the money because I did really, really like those videos. I did enjoy putting out those videos. Those videos were just really stressful too and took so much time that it was hard to put out. So
Especially after a game like Saturday, huh?
oh, I know. If there was a way I could like do it quicker, or maybe had some sort of editor or something, I don't know. Because I don't have an editor at the moment. I haven't been in contact with the guy that was editing me for like a month and a half. He had some move, and I don't know what happened with that. But yeah. So I miss those videos, but it's just not practical. I do like you. I do like that you enjoyed those videos, and I do like you asking me about that, so I could just explain that. But maybe that would be something for Patreon users. Austin Wack, thank you for the $2 donation. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Austin.
You guys are coming in hot with the donations today. It's am I blushing? Like, am I good? Okay. So gonna read through the comments. I'm gonna try and catch up on these comments. Eric, let me know if you want to say something. I'm just gonna try and like fast track these comments, and then we'll preview the game a little bit, and then we'll sign off. Bruce Davis told you Tori got passion like myself. I'm always gonna bring that Blazer fan passion to my content because it's done by Blazer fans. You know what I mean? I want it to feel that way. I want to show the emotion that I know you guys are feeling after a tough loss or after a big win. Sometimes us loyal fans, we can see things that they don't see, they being the media. And yeah, the thing is, a lot of the people in the media, they do know their stuff. But a lot of it is just being able to know how to talk and know how to present your thoughts in an articulate way on the air. A lot of it is speaking skills and on-air skills and not necessarily basketball knowledge. Not saying that members in the media aren't knowledgeable basketball wise, but there's definitely a lot of very knowledgeable basketball fans that know a good amount and could actually like hold a conversation with these guys and actually could measure up to media guys in terms of how well they know basketball. Before I did YouTube, I was just another Blazer fan. You got something to take care of there, Eric?
I think I'm good.
Alrighty. I just that sounded bad. If you gotta go, I can mute you.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
All right, bro. I'll run through this chat while you do that. I'm still mad at the Philly choke. Yeah, hopefully we can. Hopefully tonight will be that good therapeutic blowout win. Mixed Bag says no, and true Blazer fan won't do highlights either. They were my go-to. I love extended highlights. Yeah, just I don't know if you watched them when I was there. I assume you did. But like I worked with Eric for a year. I worked with True Blazer Fan for a year. For those of you who don't know my past,
different Eric.
Yeah, different Eric than you. That I know some people probably got confused with that.
Yeah.
Different Eric, the Eric that runs True Blazer Fan. And the thing is, there's other channels that put out full game highlights for Blazers versus whoever, and he was getting a little frustrated trying to like compete with those guys. You know what I mean? Because those guys are getting millions of views. He puts out a video that's kind of just the same type of video. And wouldn't get viewership on it because a lot of people would go watch those guys and they get videos out insanely fast. I don't know how they do it. I want to know how they do it because like Free Dawkins, MLG highlights, they get videos out fast. So that's why he was talking about pivoting into something a little faster for him, something that the top 10 plays since it was just Blazer related. And imagining editing a whole game after the Blazers lose. Imagine like how tough that would be to edit full game highlights right after that Cork Mods 3, because he does it right after the game, like he does it instantly. So
he's probably doing it during the game, so it's
at halftime he would edit, like try and get through the first half, because he would try and get those out fast to be Free Dawkins, MLG highlights, but those guys were considered collabing with them. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Blazers Edge. I don't know how to word this, man. Like they have some good writers there. Okay, Nate Mann. I've talked with Nate Mann for over a year. Nate Mann's my guy, and he's a really, really good writer. Really knows his stuff. If you don't follow him on Twitter, do so because he's always posting stuff like analytical graphs and analytical stats and that type of thing. But there's some writers there that kind of I just don't like the tone of their writing. It's almost like condescending. It's almost like they're telling you how you should think. That's just kind of the vibe and impression that I've gotten off of some of their writing. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to, go into depth and bash them because, it's honest people doing that are Blazer fans covering the Blazers. But it's just not the type of content for me. I've also noticed like CBA mistakes in there and like a lot of I don't know. CBA mistakes for me and Eric are very tough to read because we know the CBA, like we've studied the CBA, like we know our stuff as well as we know the CBA better than any media member that covers the Portland Trail Blazers. I can say that with confidence.
Well, so they just posted like an article the other day about trading for Draymond Green, and then so it's like this huge article like going through all the pros and cons, and then at the very end it's like there's this little sentence. Oh, by the way, he's not tradable until February 3rd. Well, then, what's... Oh, yeah. You should have put that at the beginning, that it's still, 3 months from now that he can even be traded, and so much can happen between now and then. So, it's just kind of... stuff like that bugs me, but I post on Blazers Edge every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. If they wanted to collab, it'd help grow the brand. I mean, I don't think they'd want to collab because I think they kind of know how I feel about them. Me, I don't know. You guys probably know Dan Meringue. We didn't really get off to the right foot. Part of that was my fault, too. I'm going to take some blame. I'm not going to go into it. But he's a big guy there at Blazers Edge. So I don't think they'd ever really approach me with collabing. Rip City Radio 620, maybe there's a chance in the future where I could actually go on radio, go on live TV. That would be cool. Maybe should have asked Travis Demers about that. But I don't know if he's even watched my content yet. So I don't know. I would collab with people though. It'd be fun to kind of expand and do stuff with different types of people. That's kind of what I was hoping to do with the different types of podcasts, but a couple of them have had trouble getting started, and there's a lot of communication that needs to take place. And honestly, for me, with how hectic my life is and how many different people I'm talking to in my network, it's kind of hard to get that communication steady, because the Saturday video, the roundtable video, would be so cool to have 4 or 5 people come in here with face cams and just answer questions, just go around and rapid fire answer questions. That would be such a great video to bring in different members from the community, maybe even writers like a Nate Mann from Blazers Edge, something like that. I really want to do that in the future. Logistically, it's difficult. I don't know how I do it yet, and it's just too much for me to do right now. But going down, just trying to keep up with your guys' comments, making sure I don't miss anything. What's my opinion of Anthony Tolliver this season? Do you think he'll start at the 5 again tonight? And if so, why do you think he is over Scal? I think Scal should start. I don't know why Scal wouldn't start. I think Scal is our best option at center.
It looks like Whiteside's going to play, though, so...
Oh, yeah. Whiteside will play. So, thank God we don't have to deal with Tolliver starting over Scal when Whiteside's out.
I wonder if he might start Tolliver at the 4, though.
Yeah.
Because he did that before.
I'd even play Scal at the 4. Because Scal's playing great. Scal's getting, per 36 minutes, he's getting over 20 points per game. He's getting 10.5 rebounds. He's getting 2.3 blocks. He's shooting 67% from the field. His true shooting percentage is 68%. Scal is playing absolutely phenomenal. He's only getting 13 minutes per game, though. Why is a guy that's performing like that getting 13 minutes per game? And why is Anthony Tolliver finishing at center down the stretch against Philadelphia when you got that guy on the bench who's actually has the size to play center and can actually protect the rim a little bit? The Tolliver versus Scalabissiere thing drives me crazy.
Yeah, especially when you're playing against a guy like Horford. You need some size out there. I mean, Tolliver did okay, all things considered, but yeah. And I don't mind if Tolliver gets some minutes here and there, but yeah, he shouldn't be having that big of a role, especially when Scal's playing well. And one thing I was really impressed with Scal last game was his ability to catch some of those low passes Dame seems to throw sometimes.
Yeah.
And he was getting a lot of wide open shots because of it.
I mean, his in between game is impressive, man. Those short rolls, he's good with that floater on that short roll, kind of like Nurkic was improving on. Because a lot of times you pass the ball to the big on a pick and roll, and help side rotates to the rim, so you might not be able to get all the way to the rim. So it's good for a big to be able to shoot that little push floater shot from 5 to 7 feet, and Scal looks very comfortable shooting that. That's a part of his skill set I really like. He's a good pick and roll big, I think.
That's one of the most frustrating things about the fourth quarter and why we were both mad when he went to the bench was because there was at least 3 times where he set a pick for Dame and completely got him wide open for a nice 3, and Dame was on fire. And then so if they didn't double, Dame was open off his picks. If they did double, he was getting loose on the little slip, and it was working. And then the last 4 minutes of the game, we didn't run that once because he wasn't even in the game. So
Yeah.
it's just frustrating because that was one of the things earlier in the season that a lot of people had problems with was how Whiteside and and Collins weren't setting the greatest of picks in the pick and roll. And Scal was doing a great job last game, and then they went away from it. It's really frustrating.
Yeah. That's the thing. And luckily we shouldn't be venting about those things tonight, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because that post-game stream was an adventure against the Philadelphia 76ers. I came on here, I went live, and I sat there for 2 minutes like, okay, make sure you don't say anything too bad. Make sure you collect your thoughts enough, because I was very, very frustrated with the way that game ended. Hopefully, we can get our therapy tonight and blow out the Golden State Warriors, which will feel good, even though they're fielding like a G League roster. It'll still feel good to blow the doors off that team. So I'm hoping that's what they do. I would love to see Little get some garbage time minutes, get his first NBA bucket. I think Little should maybe get a chance in the rotation since Gary Trent has played like spot rotation minutes the past couple of games. And I know, that's due to injuries and we're kind of light in terms of our roster, but if Gary Trent is going to get a chance to play like 3-4 second quarter minutes in a close game, I want to see Little get that chance too, because at least Little can play defense. Maybe he can create a steal, which could create transition buckets. I don't know. It would be fun to see him play though.
Yeah, I understand why he hasn't played at all. He played 1 game garbage time, I think, but
yeah, he's just very, very raw.
Yeah, and I don't expect him to be in the rotation at all this year, but yeah, games like this, you hope you blow out a team and you have time to just give to Trent and Scal and those guys.
Yeah, so shout out to Blair Bartholomew, shout out to Eugene David, some OGs just joining the live stream, joining the chat.
Eugene, we actually did answer that question earlier. We did hear his thoughts. He basically admitted that the plan was to fight through the screen, and Dame got picked, and he thought Dame still gave a good contest.
Yeah.
Austin Wack.
Shout out to Austin Wack, $10 donation. You guys are insane today. I found out how to do it. I appreciate you guys, and your videos keep grinding. Dude, I appreciate it, man. Like all these donations you guys are giving me, man.
You're gonna make Tori cry today.
You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna help me take my girl out on a date. Like I'll make it. She's gonna be thankful too. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your support, Austin Wack. Like I know like pretty much all you guys that are always here. Like I know your guys' names. All you guys that comment. I like having, seeing the same people in here, podcast after podcast. I like seeing the same people coming on the videos. Obviously it'd be cool to like meet a lot of you guys at some point, do like a meet and greet, maybe a watch party sometime, January, February, something like that. And just like invite you guys, maybe, hopefully make it free and just be able to meet some of you guys. Cause, a lot of you guys have been here supporting me for the past few months. So, some of you guys have been supporting me when I was a true Blazer fan, so I greatly appreciate it.
And so, if we win tonight like we should, this is my problem with losing that game. So, if Minnesota loses tonight, they'd be 4-2. We'd be 5-2 if we didn't blow that game. So we'd be sitting like tied for second possibly in the West. Instead, we're on the outside of the playoff picture. I know it's way too early to think about that kind of stuff, but like the last couple of years, it's been a couple games between home court advantage and like possibly not making the playoffs. So like all these games matter, and that's why we get so frustrated when stuff like Saturday happens. Even if it's early in the season, and even if every team blows games like that over the course of a season, it still matters. So tonight's a must win in my opinion. Like
I 100% agree. Henry M says, by the way, Google will eat more than 40% of that money. I don't believe it's 40. I believe it's 20. I believe it's like 15 or 20%. He says, "Where's your Cash App?" I got PayPal. Maybe I'll start putting it in the description. I can get notifications on my phone and shout out you guys donating to me at PayPal too. But I don't believe it's 40%. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's only like 15 to 20%. Either way, appreciate the support. We are now like 14 in power rankings. Yeah, but it's early. I'm not really worried. They were sleeping on us, having us at 10 to begin with instead of like 7 or 8. I'm from Mount Hood. A few dope places to watch games up here if you ever make it up this way. I want to get back into snowboarding, man, because I
Are you
snowboarded
snowboarding?
a few times. I snowboarded a couple, like 2-3 times about 4 years ago, but then maybe it was like 5-6 years ago. But it was always during basketball season. I didn't want to hurt myself, didn't want to tweak my knee. You know what I mean? I don't play organized basketball anymore. I just play rec league, so now I'd be fine. Now I wouldn't be worried about that. Just scrolling through the comments here. I want to play basketball against... Austin Wax says, I want to play basketball against and with y'all like you guys suggested a couple videos ago. That'd be something fun as well. Like I got a lot of different ideas for stuff I want to do, like community oriented stuff, because I want to like include you guys in what we're doing. I want it to be, this is like a community based channel. Well, life's crazy right now though,
Hey, wait.
so I haven't had the time to put my mind to organizing that.
Maybe we have some new people that dominate in our practices leading up to the 3-on-3 tourney next year.
Oh, for real, man. Like that's because every year we're going to be playing that Rip City 3-on-3. We've done it the past couple of years, so usually we play every weekend in the spring and summer. So I'll definitely shout out where we're playing at, the park where we're playing at. We just go to a local park somewhere in Portland, and I'll shout it out in case you guys wanted to come play some pickup ball. For sure, that'd be dope.
So yeah, in case you guys haven't heard, D'Angelo Russell is out tonight. Hood is available. Whiteside is still a game time decision. He's listed as probable. Not sure. I heard he was leaning towards playing, but you never know with those.
Yeah, and we don't really need him. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely helped us win this game, but we should win this game without him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't want to hear the excuse of if we somehow blow this game and lose to this G League team that's starting Kai Bowman, Eric Paschal, Jordan Poole, and Glenn Robinson. I don't want to hear well, it's fine, we lost, we didn't have Whiteside. There's no excuses for losing to this roster. We could be starting Nasir Little, Anthony Tolliver, and Moses Brown, and we should still beat this team.
I still don't get why Moses hasn't been called up yet. We need some help.
We need some big man depth. We got 3 centers hurt. We had 4 centers hurt against Philadelphia. A big reason why you sign those two-way guys is in case of emergency, you have a 7-1 big who looks like he knows how to defend a little bit, could maybe finish off pick and roll here and there. His body isn't ready. Obviously, he's not going to be like a good NBA player at all. But instead of playing Anthony Tolliver at center, spot minutes for Moses Brown might have been a better decision, just so we could have had a big in there to maybe bother some shots, because Anthony Tolliver wasn't bothering anything. There's a reason why Tolliver gave up 5 straight shots within 5 feet, and he wasn't even there to contest them because he can't get off the ground anyway, and he's 6'8".
Yeah, he can take charges, okay, but yeah, he can't contest at the rim.
So, keys to tonight's game. We're going to wrap it up with keys to tonight's game. Honestly... Okay, I'm going to mute you for a second. Oh, he muted it. All right. Erickson father and podcast mode. Henry M, $5 donation. Great job, guys. Keep it up and go Blazers. You guys are insane right now. You guys are crazy with the donations, dude. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. I got to get better at like my me thanking you guys for donations, because it means a lot. But also, I'm not used to getting donations, dude, they're killing it right now. At this point so far, do you think there's a chance to be top 10 in defense like the team wants? Remains to be seen. I'm gonna unmute Eric. There we go. But remains to be seen. I don't know. Collins being out hurts that for sure. So kind of just depends on our backcourt. Our backcourt has to keep improving defensively. Guys like Anthony have to improve defensively in order for us to be a top 10 defense. So anyway, keys to tonight's game. Just don't be sloppy with the ball. A roster like this that's starting G League level players, they're going to play with energy. You know what I mean? They're unproven, unheralded players, so they're going to play with energy. So if we're being sloppy with the ball, they're going to be running the floor hard, and it's a lot easier for a G League level roster to score in transition compared to the half court when they're playing against NBA caliber talent. You're able to get easier buckets when you're running in transition. You're able to build a little bit more of a rhythm, build some confidence, and with their energy, that's what they're going to look to do. So we cannot spurn those runs by turning over the ball. We were sloppy against Philadelphia. We've kind of been sloppy with the ball this season. We just have to be solid, get solid shots, and not spark fast breaks going the other way, because that's like the only way that I see Golden State being able to stay in this game.
Yeah, we had a couple of games last year against rosters like this, one against Chicago and I think one against like Memphis late in the season. And those type of games, you just don't play down to the competition and just get the win, get out of there with your guys healthy. But there should be absolutely no reason this game's even close.
Yeah, 100% agree. Was there a timeline for Collins yet? No, it's going to be established after his surgery. I'll cover it, and I'll talk about it right after it breaks. Damon CJ's lack of skill throwing lobs to Whiteside is pathetic. Yeah, they need to get better at that for sure. They throw him too low. Make the big guy go up and get it. That's the thing, man. When I play rec ball, I'm 6'4", 6'5" in shoes. If you throw a lob to me, make me go up and get it. Throw it around the rim. Like I can rim graze dunk. You know what I mean? I'm probably not going to dunk a lob. I've only dunked a lob a couple of times in a game, but it's like guys always tend to underthrow it. As a big, I want you to throw it up so I can go up and get it where nobody else can get it. So with Whiteside, it's the same thing. That dude's huge. Throw it up where only he can go up and get it. Damon CJ underthrow those lobs for sure. And CJ should be really good at those lobs because his floater is pinpoint and it's kind of the same motion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's kind of the same motion as like a push shot floater. That's kind of how you pass it out of the pick and roll, so he should be able to place it where he wants. He's pretty accurate with his floaters. CJ should be a better passer in general, man.
Yeah. That's another topic for another day.
Yeah, I wish we threw more lobs, though. If we end up top 3 seed and Damian keeps these numbers up, do you think he's MVP? He has a chance. I'll have a Dame video coming out soon because he's playing like an MVP caliber player right now, and that'll be a good like quick hitter, like 2 to 4 minute video. So anyway, do you have a key for tonight other than limiting our turnovers so that Golden State doesn't run the floor?
We need to just figure out how to play, especially our second unit. They should get a lot of run tonight. So this is probably going to be an up and down game, so it should suit their style a little better. But I just wish the second unit would learn to stop going one-on-one as much and learn how to play a little better. And this is a good game to try and work on things in game. And so I'm looking for the second unit to have a big night and to run some better sets, try to get out on the fast break a little bit, stuff like that.
Yep. Alrighty, so I think we're going to wrap up this podcast. We're at around an hour, I think. I'm not entirely sure, honestly. Yeah, we're at around an hour. It seems like your kid's starting to go slightly crazy. Starting to get slightly crazy up there in your household, so...
I have a just turned 3-year-old and she's getting restless.
Yeah, it happens, man. I appreciate you still coming in on this podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You had the kids pretty occupied for most of that hour, so it's all good. Anyway, there's something else I wanted to say before I wrap this up. I always blank on outros. My outros are weak lately. The mailbag I'll probably release tomorrow. I know I wanted to get back on Monday, but got two videos hopefully dropping between the game and this podcast, and then had to do the podcast and then have the post game stream tonight in the game, so I don't really have the time to get it out tonight. So mailbag tomorrow. Also maybe a trade talk video tomorrow because I want to start those up on Tuesdays. I want to get things more regular. So I know a lot of you people, I know I said I'll probably try and get the mailbag out tonight. I'm just going to say it's going to come tomorrow. I'll work on it tonight after the post-game stream and get it out hopefully Tuesday morning. So I think that wraps up this podcast. I'm making sure I didn't miss any questions. Whiteside and Hood are playing tonight. Or I think Hood's playing and Whiteside's probable, which means that he should play. So we're looking pretty good in terms of having a healthy enough roster to beat this trash Golden State Warriors roster that we're going up against, because Golden State's they're starting Kai Bowman, Jordan Poole, Glenn Robinson III, Eric Paschal, and Willie Cauley-Stein. That's a horrible, horrible lineup. Yep. Their bench is bad too. So with that, we're going to wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who dropped a donation for me today. You guys absolutely crushed it on that.
Awesome, guys.
I greatly appreciate it. So for me and Eric, I'll see you guys tonight with the Uprise post-game show. With that, we're out of here. Peace out. Go Blazers.